Will Among Us die? And if it will, the question is when? But to clarify, when I say die, I don't mean just lose a little steam, and not just because it's already done that and still carried strong. Perhaps I should rephrase that. When will Among Us die, or will it die off entirely? Originally, my answer is 95% of games inevitably do as people move on to the next big thing. However, I want to take a step back and really look into that answer. The numbers behind Among Us, the player's mentality, and the games, and maybe then I can formulate an actual answer. Will Among Us ever die? Let me preface this video by saying this. I don't want this video to come off as complainy. I enjoy Among Us. It is a really great game, and I hope it can work past the barriers that normal games struggle with. Minecraft out of the way. Last Day on Earth. Here's a few time to dive in. So of course we're using Google Trends right here, and as you can see, it goes from pretty much 0 all the way up to 100, which is crazy. And as you can see, as September kind of goes on, leading into October, it starts to trickle down, but still high 90s, still high, especially compared to some other things. I will say though, there's only been really a month, maybe a month and a half of data in regards to the Among Us search terms though, and it's during the period in which Among Us has blown up. So it's really impossible to know the true trajectory of the game, but we do the best we can. Now, I'm gonna go into why I think the game will die, followed by why I think the game won't die. It's pretty clear the internet's attention span is not very long. After a long period of time with no changes, people start to move on. I've already seen a couple of Reddit posts, posted weeks ago even, asking if Among Us is actually dead. And while these posts are premature, there is a shred of merit to them. If a game just kind of stops updating, nothing new being brought to the table, eventually players will leave after they get bored. With Among Us, there haven't been any major, per se, updates since the game exploded, but there has been some stuff. For example, the taskbar was hidden, but there haven't really been any major changes, such as an entirely new map. I know a new map is under development, but we're just talking about stuff that has come to the game. Would also like to give an honorable mention to cheaters in Among Us, which really do hurt the experience just like with most any other game. However, in Among Us, this is fairly simple to combat. Just play private games with players you know will not be cheaters. Still worth a mention. However, I've been in probably 500, 600 different public lobbies and have yet to find a single cheater. I've had some really weird games where people are obviously in a Discord call together, but have not seen anyone cheating, or at least blatantly cheating. Moving on from that, I'm gonna go into why I think Among Us won't die. And there are a couple other reasons why I think Among Us won't die, but not in the way that you'd expect. So let's get into that. Among Us itself is a very simple game. Find the imposters before they kill a majority of your group off. Very similar to other games of the genre, like Mafia or Town of Salem even. And for a large percentage of people who would want to play this game, it's available on their platform of choice. For example, PC, mobile, etc. Controversial, I know, but I prefer to play this game on mobile. When there is downtime, I could just hop into a quick lobby with randoms, try not to rage when they randomly vote me out for no apparent reason. I've seen players who prefer to play Among Us on the PC, on Steam, etc. And with that level of simplicity and access, almost anyone, anywhere can play it. There are so many around the world that have not yet played it that consider playing and trying. Once they do, they're hooked. And with so many potential players being exposed to the game from content creators or streamers from all over, there is a seemingly never-ending pool of people who could try out this game. And with Among Us especially, once somebody is hooked, a good majority spread it, sharing the game with friends. If I wanted to play with my specific friend, I would need to invite them to download the game. And with the current world circumstances, this is something we need. A game that people can kind of center around, put their focus into, be with their friends anywhere around the world. And that's the other reason why I think Among Us won't die. I'm sure you've probably been thinking about this too, the community. But when I say community, I think there is a double-edged sword there. There's an important distinction to draw in the community. between a group of kids in a Discord call in a public lobby and players actively logging where every single person is on the map. But regardless of which end of the spectrum you fall under, the community for Among Us is something. There's something innately satisfying watching creators you'd never expect to be in the game, let alone the same video as one another, and watching these games of Among Us. From the highest to the lowest skill cap, Among Us videos are really easy to produce and to binge. There is a waterfall of Among Us content on any site you really go to, from YouTube to
Good luck, good luck, good luck.
I don't know how many more we'll play.
Twitch. Everywhere you turn to, somebody somewhere is making a video about Among Us. To put this entire video together, the unique part about this is even though there are only limited maps and the goal of the game will never change, every single lobby has a different feel, a different playstyle, and there are different kind of versions you can check out. For example, Among Us, but I'm being hunted down. That will be enough to keep the game long lasting, even if the developers decide to quit tomorrow, never touching Among Us again, unless something crazy like the servers permanently shutting down or the developers adding seasons to their game with no variation to them, the game won't die. Yes, stuff mentioned previously are problems, yet they pale in comparison when compared to the overall experience with your friends. But I'm curious to know what you all think. Come, let me know, talk on my Discord, code on the screen right now, or leave your opinion down below in the YouTube comments. Again, my favorite part of making these kinds of videos is to read everyone's opinions and thoughts on this. With all that being said, ZD out.